Hunter Biden just made Republicans' investigation of him a lot easier. Let's dive into the details, shall we? Hunter Biden's legal team has been at the center of news coverage this month after it appeared to confirm the authenticity of his laptop in a letter, only to try to backtrack 24 hours later. It was a curious and gratuitous move for Biden and his counsel, Abbe Lowell, as they called for criminal investigations into his critics, suggested lawsuits against media, and even argued that the tax-exempt status of some groups be rescinded by the IRS. Now, however, the team is moving in a far more precarious direction. They seem to be adopting the strategy of Steve Bannon that resulted in his conviction for contempt of Congress. Lowell categorically refused to turn over material to Congress this week, leaving his client open to a subpoena and possible prosecution. The move may have thrilled hardcore Democrats, but it is the Republicans who should be most ecstatic with Hunter's initial position. Lowell has declared the oversight investigation in the Biden family's alleged influence peddling its illegitimate and has refused to turn over records related to its investigation. In a letter to House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer, the Republican from Kentucky, Lowell declared, peddling your own inaccurate and baseless conclusions under the guise of a real investigation turns the committee into Wonderland and you into the Queen of Hearts, shouting sentence first, verdict afterwards. It's an interesting analogy used. The move comes after news reports of a Democratic team forming around Hunter to attack potential witnesses and adopt a scorched earth approach in litigation. Even in personal matters, Hunter appears to be dispensing with his prior cultivation of a tragic and besieged figure. Recently, Hunter moved to block one of his daughters from using his surname. Yeah, Hunter's a trip. In this latest matter, Lowell appears to be channeling the same strategy of Steve Bannon, who was ultimately charged with contempt and conviction. At the time, I said that Bannon was asking for a contempt charge, and Biden appears to be replicating the same ill-considered strategy. Lowell would have been far smarter to turn over some material to the committee in good faith while seeking to negotiate on the scope of the inquiry. A categorical refusal gives the committee ample basis to issue a subpoena. Lowell is simply wrong that there is no legislative purpose in seeking information on possible influence peddling by the Biden family that could involve the president himself. Such corruption scandals have been part of congressional inquiries, from the XYZ affair to Teapot Dome scandal to investigation of Trump family business interests. Lowell left open the door to Comer convincing him of some legitimate legislative purpose in meetings, but the letter went too far in their categorical rejection of initial demand. Comer is likely to balk at having to convince Hunter Biden of the legitimacy of his investigation. A court would likely support the committee's right to such evidence for financial and communication records. While the committee will not necessarily get everything, it is likely to prevail on threshold issue of right to such evidence. In the Bannon case, the Democrats spared little time in seeking a contempt order. Just 1 week after Bannon missed a date to appear, they voted out the contempt sanction of committee, and it was quickly approved by the House as a whole. It was contempt of Congress, as I said at the time. However, Republicans opposed the sanction on the same grounds now being used by Lowell and some Democrat members. Lowell could tack back on this letter as he did his earlier letter on the laptop. However, he may have little time to do so. He just led the foundation for the Oversight Committee to move quickly towards a subpoena and ultimately a contempt sanction if he maintains this position. Lowell actually expedited the process for the House, shortening the calendar for possible contempt proceedings. If this matter were to go to courts, either as a criminal contempt matter or an enforcement matter or both, there is now plenty of time for the committee to prevail in securing much of this material. That would place Attorney General Merrick Garland in a tough position. After years of the Justice Department largely ignoring contempt sanctions, Garland moved aggressively to prosecute Trump figures like Bannon. The failure to do so with Hunter Biden would fuel concerns over political bias at the department. Yeah. The bill has come due on the alleged Biden influence peddling operation. While Democrats and pundits have insisted that there is no actual crime raised in such corruption, it is clearly a matter for Congress to investigate. Otherwise, the Democrats will be in a position of arguing that neither the courts nor Congress can pursue allegations of corruption and foreign influence surrounding the president and his family. That is a fight that the Republicans should relish, and Hunter Biden just made it a lot easier. Yeah, I don't know. Hunter Biden, he's not doing the strategies he's doing. Not very good. He's just, I think he might get convicted just overall for this stuff. He shouldn't have said the thing about the laptop. Like, what are you thinking? I guess he's just trying to get ahead of the investigation in some way. I don't know what he's doing. I would think it'd be really funny though if they prosecuted him like Bannon, but then they're gonna find all this other stuff. They're gonna dig all this up, and then they're gonna find a lot more. Yeah, it's crazy. But what do you think? Do you think Hunter's guilty? Do you think he'll get prosecuted? Do you think he's innocent? No matter your opinions, I want to read them in the comments below. Also, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel for daily news updates, hit that notification bell, and share this video to help spread the news. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.